800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
どっから出るんだろう。曲がれるのかな。曲がれないですよ。
calls for the chair of the LA Olympics to resign after the revelation he exchanged racy emails with Ghislaine Maxwell. Eviction protections expand for renters, but some say it's not enough.
Many say the ice raids have left them stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And could a mileage tax be in California's future? Only on KNX. It's 1 p.m. Is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The House has passed a bill to end the partial government shutdown. As CBS's Candy McCormick reports, the measure funds most of the government through September 30th while providing the Department of Homeland Security with short-term funding for 2 weeks while lawmakers negotiate potential changes to ICE operations, as Democrats demanded.
Of the demands that were made, the requests that were made, many of those are already being implemented.
House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The roving patrols will be modified. There are a lot of things that suggestions that have already been implemented by Mr. Holman and others who are in charge of all this. And so I think we can get to an agreement. I certainly hope that's true.
Also on Capitol Hill today, the brothers of Renee Good, who was shot and killed by ICE agents last month in Minneapolis, have just spoken out of court on the recent incidents of violence involving federal agents. The brother, Luke Asher.
In the last few weeks, our family took some consolation thinking that perhaps Nay's death would bring about change in our country, and it has not.
The forum was arranged by Richard Blumenthal and Congressman Robert Garcia, both Democrats. President Trump's recent comments about nationalizing elections have triggered a lot of questions. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, President Trump was referring to a bill called the SAVE Act.
It provides very common centers for voting in our country, such as voter ID.
Leavitt also repeated the president's ongoing unfounded claims of election fraud.
Believes there has obviously been a lot of fraud, irregularities that have taken place in American elections.
On former FBI Deputy Director
おはようございます。ドライバーのボブちゃんです。毎日配信、多分朝のご挨拶ライブの命令ナンバー1526第1526回目。今日は2月の3日、火曜日の朝のご挨拶です。時刻は午後1時2分です。
Not just at the federal level, but across the state. Everyone was saying, you need anything, we're here.
LA から LA のダウンタウンから1時間ぐらい西の方におります。カラバサスじゃないや、アゴーラヒルズ、この辺におります。お客さんいないから LA 帰ります。
It's made up of more than 20 different departments. We'll send a variety of different agencies. It does not include ICE. There is not ICE deployed with us at this alone. I don't believe there has been in the last several.
今夜の4シーズンズ、有名なホテルあるんですけど、まあ4シーズンズに来たわけじゃないんですけどね、近所来てこの辺だったら4シーズンズかなと思ってちょっとこの辺にいたんですけど、なんかもうチェックアウトの時間も過ぎたし、お昼時も過ぎたからもうここ行ってもしょうがないかなと思って、LA に戻ることにしました。 LA に戻る理由の一つがあれなんですけどね、恵方巻き、お昼ご飯に恵方巻き食べようと思ってで、まあちょっとね午前中にもうこっちの方来ちゃったからこっちの方で待ち伏せしてたんですけど、こっちの方行ってもあんまり商売なさそうだからもう帰ろうと思って、この辺から取れたら言うことないんですけどね、例の方へなかなかないですね。マグロは釣れない。
Tenants rallied outside here before the supervisors meeting. Many say the ICE raids have left them stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Immigrant tenants are facing the threat of deportation in the streets every time that they leave their house to go to work. But they're
恵方
also
巻き
facing the threat of
食べなき
eviction,
ゃ
which is another
別
form
に
of mass
恵方巻き食べなきゃいけないってわけでもないんですけど
They
ね
hope that
David Albright with the LA Commission says the threshold to evict should be raised to at least 3 months for the entire county, not just for unincorporated areas. The supervisors approved only raising the threshold from 1 to 2 months so as not to put the entire burden on landlords.
なんか願掛けもまじないも何も通用しないっていうかねそんな感じ
He says the raids have some tenants into
縁起物っていうところでねもうちょっとだからそういう縁起物のことは大事にしなきゃいけないんか知んないですけど何にも通用しない
Attention to traffic in the Simpson Buick GMC Cadillac Traffic Center. There's Susie Jessup.
Hey there, well, I'm talking about the 10. There's a number of issues. The good news is that the Robertson office is now open. They did a quick signaler and they cleared up this.
ちょっとまあドライブ LA まで1時間走るからまあどっかで途中でお客さん呼ばれたらごの字なんですけどなければこのまんま LA まで走って帰ります
On that right lane, and so stick with the main lines here. The collector lanes are pretty jammed up for your ride. Now, if you're heading in towards Commerce, that Garfield on-ramp to the northbound 5, that remains blocked. And in Orange County, we got a fender bender. It looks like everything is cleared off of the
い
lanes
つも
over
夜
the
ばっか
right
り配信
shoulder.
してるから
This is
た
southbound
まにはちょっと
55
昼間の
at
走
Dyer.
行風景で
Still a
も
little bit of slowing as you
どうで
approach,
しょう
and
か
also the Dyer off-ramp is blocked. There's recent
万能湾
construction work
東方
there.
向
That's from the southbound side of the 55. Other than that, I am seeing some slowing
恵
in
方巻きまで
Bloomington,
何
and
マイルあるんだろう
that's
だいぶありますよ
10.
ね
Alex, right at Sierra Avenue. Looks like they're doing road work in the right lane till 3 o'clock between Sierra and Cedar, and that's what's causing that backup for the eastbound check.
ある
The
かい
Assembly's passed a bill that directs the state to keep studying what would happen if we had a tax on how many miles you drive a year instead of the current gas
40
tax.
分36分
It's been
あんま
discussed
渋
for a
滞してない
while.
30マイル
Democrats think would help raise money for
36
road repairs,
18
public
50キロやな
transportation
50キロ
infrastructure projects. This measure wouldn't create a new tax right away. It's called for a report by the end of the year. But Republican Huntington Beach State Senator Tony Strickland is one of those pushing back.
At a time where both Democrats and Republicans in Sacramento say the affordability crisis is what we need to tackle here, people are opposing this. I believe we're out of touch with families who are struggling to pay their bills right now, and it's the exact opposite of what we need to do. We can add more everyday people's wants.
That's what he would do. He says he would scrap the high-speed rail project to use that money to improve freeways and other infrastructure. A pedestrian was hit and killed on Beach in Malibu last night. This happened around 7:30 near Winding Way. First state of the scene is cooperating. Sheriff's Department doesn't think drugs, alcohol, or speed were factors. Not clear what was. CCH was closed for several hours overnight and investigated this. We have not gotten the victim's name yet. LAPD's asked for help to find 2 hit-and-run drivers after separate crashes in December left 2 men badly hurt. First happened just before 2 a.m. December 29th in Westlake. Black Honda hit a car on Bonnie Gray near 6th, pushing it into a man in his 60s who was standing nearby, and the driver kept going. About 2 weeks earlier, a man in his 50s was hit in the crosswalk Fashion District, 9th and Maple. Happened around 6 a.m. Dark-colored vehicle last seen heading west on 9th. Both victims were severely hurt. Anyone who has information on either will get in touch with LAPD Central Traffic Division. Tens of thousands of dollars is pouring in to help fix fully innocent Long Beach.
この先にこの陸橋フリーウェイをまたいでる陸橋なんですけど今ねここは車道ですねこの上のが新しくできたんですよねその先に見えるやつこの先今からくぐるやつが動物用の陸橋ですねワイルドアニマル用野生動物用アネンバーグワイルドライフクロッシングって書いてあるんですよね野生動物用です
Sex traffickers have been arrested in Walnut, part of a statewide sex trafficking sting. County DA Dave Hodgson says Walnut's just one of several sex trafficking hotspots across LA County.
January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month. During that month, I had the opportunity to have three, and this is now the third, press conferences on this topic, emphasizing what is going on the figure and has been going on that corridor, involving not just young women and men, but young girls and young boys being trafficked by these traffickers, these pimps. And the fact that we have corridors, and they're not just limited to the Figueroa corridor, the Western Avenue corridor.
ここから山越えて海の方に出てもいいんですけどね。今日は恵方巻きの日だから恵方巻き買いに行かないと。ここから降りて右に曲がって南港へまっすぐ山越えて行ったら行き着く先は太平洋ですね。PCH パシフィックコースターハイウェイ。
The average two-bedroom apartment is $2,600. Employee agencies with the Stanford Institute for Economic Policy Research.
緑が綺麗ですよね、この丘の緑。今ちょうど1月の頭に降った雨が上がって、そこからこう雑草が伸びて真緑ですけどね。今年この真緑になるの1ヶ月ちょっと早いんですよね。いつもは2月の終わりとか3月なんですけど1ヶ月早いですね。雨が結構正月年末年始に雨降ったからその影響で早い。去年は年末年始全然降らなかったから12月も年明け今頃結構降ってたんですけどね。今年は年末年始に降った後は全然降ってないんですよね。逆に言うとね。だから利息になるかもしれないぐらい全然降ってないんですけど年末年始結構降ったやつが今んとこお釣りみたいですからね。綺麗ですよね。山の緑がめっちゃ綺麗。この緑のこの景色もね、もう本当このまんまもし雨が降らなかったらあと1ヶ月したら枯れ始めますけどまだでも2月の頭だから2月、3月、4月月1ぐらいで雨降ると思うんですけどね。今が86度ですよ。30度超え。
After one after of deluxe life coat, you'll probably never have to see us again because it'll last as long as you own your home. Deluxe life coat saves you thousands in maintenance costs and you can reduce your energy bill. Plus, we have the best lifetime warranty in the industry that covers flaking, peeling, and yes, even cracking. What paint can say that? Call now to get
86度がちょうど30度です。今ちょうど30度。
Call 800-914-2800. 800-914-2800. That's 800-914-2800. Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 1052855. Are you unhappy with your smile? Have you heard me ask you to smile in your rear view mirror?
2月の気温じゃないですよね。
GPS. That's dental implants GPS. I can't tell you how many people looked in the mirror and then came to one of our 7 GPS centers. Are you ready to want to smile non-stop in your mirror? Call my dental implant team at 1-800-952-4200 for a 24-hour smile.
時間帯によってこう今走ってるところで大渋滞するんですよ。あとねこれ今1時半1時15、13分でしょ。3時過ぎたらすげえ混むから今一番空いてる時間にちょうど通りかかってますよ。ウエスト LA まで1時間ぐらい軽くかかる。今30分かね。
Call us at 1-800-952-4200. That's 1-800-952-4200. Or visit dentalimplantsgps.com. Have an injury? DCLA Law Group. We only get paid if you win. Get a free case review. Text injury help to 40222 or go to calldowntown.com. This ad is brought to you by Fareed Yahoo Slow. Downtown LA Law Group. SC number
恵方巻きもですけどね、今日の3面の写真、なんか大谷翔平選手、インスタにアップしてましたけど、なんか絵本作ったみたいですね。デコピンと大谷君の絵本みたいなのね。それを犬と、ね、デコピンと娘さんを一緒に抱えて読み聞かせしてる写真載してましたけどね。
So it all works together? Exactly. Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at Odoo.
もうね、どこで買えるのかなと思ったら、Amazon で買えるみたいで注文しました。明日来ます。英語の絵本ですけどね。もうすごいですよね。印税バカバカね、ガッポガッポ。ミリオンセラーでしょうね、もうね、あっという間に。
Is getting a new CEO. Can he handle all the headwinds in Hollywood? We'll talk about that coming up. Good afternoon, I'm Ali Silverman. Also ahead, Savannah Guthrie's mom is still missing.
恵方巻きにちなんで絵本わざとですかね、狙ったんですかね。
First, no Opio Law Injury Lawyering this traffic, and here is Susan Jessup.
Yeah, northbound side of the 110 at the Avenue 60 off-ramp is blocked. And, I got a call from Uber driver Robert. He was saying that he drove there, and there was a helicopter sort of hovering over there, and they're doing some bridge construction. So he said it's sort of lowering a sling down there, and he said there's not really bad traffic. I'm seeing actually...
明日配達ですね。明日家帰ったらもう来てるんです。
Make way through Montecito Heights and in towards Pilot Park. A lot of people are staring up at the helicopter wondering what's going on, but that's not going to really affect your looking good in towards South Pasadena. And the 210 actually looks great from Irwindale as you make your way in towards Arcadia and in towards Pasadena. Still slow on the northbound side of the Union Atwater Village. We have some Caltrans work on the northbound 5 connector to that westbound side of the 134. A lot of people called about this. And, the left lane is blocked, and it's going to be blocked for probably the month of February, maybe into March. And we do have a new problem for the westbound side of the 91, right at Clark. Watch out for a tire that's blocking the left lane. It looks like we have a stalled car northbound side of the 405, right at Avalon. As far as Orange County goes, looking pretty good. That Dyer off-ramp is blocked from the southbound 55. That earlier problem just past Dyer in southbound 55, completely cleared out of lane. To the wrong lawyer waste time and put the injured victim at risk. You don't need guesswork, you need skill, expertise, and winning results. Injured? You're not alone. Call Opio Law at 888 and let us fight for you. OpioLaw.com. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the phone. Assistant Buick GMC Cadillac 24-hour service.
工事した時に車線引いてそれを削った後の上を走るとバンバンすごい。もうちょっと音が出ないように削ればいいんだ。すごいですね。ちょうどタイヤが乗るところが削れる。タイヤが乗るとあんまり端っこに寄りたくないし。
Whether tomorrow's new Disney the boosted needs right now.
Josh is well liked. He's steered the experiences division, theme parks and cruise line quite well. He faces challenges though. He's going to want to learn the entertainment business, which is not the side of the business that he's been on. In fact, he doesn't even live in LA County, he lives in Orange County, down near Disneyland, of course.
Campbell said one of the biggest challenges he's going to face is navigating the entertainment world's future. When it comes to AI,
exactly what they're going to do when it comes to technology and how they're going to do that in house, how much of it involves relationships with other companies, such as the deal with OpenAI, is going to be the question of the day. Josh is really going to have to be a diplomat representing Disney in the negotiations with a foreign land in the Silicon Valley and the AI constituency. It's clear that AI is an ascendant technology, and it's going to change the way a lot of things are done. Meanwhile, more directly, specifically in entertainment, we have the decline of linear television and the growth of streaming. Disney faces a very strong competitor, namely Netflix, which looks likely to be acquiring Warner Brothers even further. So there are a lot of cylinders to fire on. It does seem like he is considered the right person for the job, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy job.
どうしようかな。
Certainly not. So is
なんか
Bob Iger leaving
近所に
the
ラーメン
company
屋
in
さんあるん
good
ですけ
shape
ど、
for tomorrow at the
昼
end
ご
of
飯ラー
his
メン食
second
べ
round
て
as CEO?
I think he is.
夜恵方巻きにしようかな。
You know, Iger fumbled the transition to Chapek in choosing Chapek and had to come back for a round. But it's a company with a lot of assets, a good brand identity, a very strong brand, one of the strongest in the world, frankly. And it's got projects, a variety of sorts in territories around the world and here at home. So yeah, I think Iger's done as good a job as one can do with a company this size. And tomorrow to take us into tomorrow.
Entertainment attorney Jonathan Handel on the big transition to Disney that is happening as soon as next month.
もう過ぎちゃった。
120, time for your money. Tom at Bloomberg. Software makers bit of a panic today. That's after the artificial intelligence tech company Anthropic unveiled a new AI-powered automation tool for legal and data services, able to read through legal briefs and contracts with ease. And that sent shares of Experian, Thomson Reuters, Zoom, the London Stock Exchange Group, and other legal software providers sharply lower, which sparked a sell-off in the entire tech sector, even in
恵
shipping.
方巻きを買っ
That
て
led to
かぶりつ
sizable
きま
losses
しょ
on Wall
う。
Street today, and although stocks finished well off the lows of the session at the close, the Dow was 167 points, the Nasdaq down 337. That's a nearly 1.5% decline. The S&P lost 59.
Particularly tough year for the city of Los Angeles.
The LA Local steps up to help you navigate around the potholes. Learn more about our region and put words in your dash.
We know the status quo hasn't delivered better results. We have to take action.
Follow the Hill on your favorite podcast app every weekday. The LA Local is brought to you by LA Car Guy Family of Chips. You can see the inventory for all 12 discounts at LACarGuy.com. If you wear glasses, it's like renting your vision. Just like renting a house, you pay and pay. It's never yours. Same goes for eyeglasses and contact lenses. Replacements, visits to the optometrist, and you could spend $20,000 over your lifetime. But LASIK at Laser Eye Center allows you to pay a fraction of that cost. And now with our New Year's sales event, you can take advantage of a % discount. If you call with hours, you can get custom modern LASIK for just 50 months per eye with 0 down and 0 interest. Call now to schedule your free no-obligation consultation. 800-515-6565. You can even return to work the next day. Make it a new you this new year. Appointments fill up fast for LASIK, cataracts, and dry eyes. Our clinics are conveniently open on Saturdays. We have 0 down, 0 interest financing, no language barriers, and we're always available to answer your questions with no obligation. We don't want to share your information. Take advantage of the New Year's sales event. Call now. 800-515-6565. That's 800-515-6565.
Every morning, we shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials. Clinically studied probiotics for gut health support. Magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Donate now at carsforkids.com. The K to donate your car today. A unique mummy exhibit's opening at California Science Center this weekend.
Here at the Mummies of the World exhibition, you not only get to see the mummies, but you can see inside them. That's because each one has had a full CT scan. It gives you insight on how they lived and a lot of the injuries that they lived with.
What Nesman has here is in his lower back.
Dr. Summer Decker is with Keck Medicine. She actually conducted these CT scans.
He actually has a vertebra that's collapsed and is really kind of pinching that in.
TV going, oh yeah, I know what that feels like all too well. Painful for people to live with. BCE, and they made a 3D printing of his name so you can actually pick it up, hold it, and look at his injuries. He also had what we found in the scan was a series of broken ribs that had healed. That was likely from maybe a fall or something like that from when he was younger, because they were right on his back, and we'll have those prints on display here as well. The exhibit starts February 7th, and not only do you get to see inside Egyptian mummies, but they have mummies spanning from 2,200 years ago up to 1,700. So you get the inside scoop on people and how they live throughout the year. In Exposition Park, I'm Emily Valdez, KNX News 97.1.
125 stop the traffic brought to you by Providence Financial. Check the road, Susie Jones.
Starting to get slow leaving West LA. Looking pretty good through Santa Monica, through the McClure Tunnel. In Santa Monica, PCH looks great. But that eastbound 10, starting to slow from Cloverfield. You make your way to the 405. We had a couple things happening on the eastbound side of the 10. Looks like the Robertson is cleared. You can get off at Robertson. Normandy off-ramp is blocked. We did have a ladder in lanes. It did clear. CHP ran a traffic break eastbound Crenshaw. And the collector lane, that right lane is blocked. They're doing landscape work from Western to Norman. Once you sort of pass, I would say San Pedro, then things open up heading in towards the East LA interchange. Now, as far as PCH goes, it's pretty slow from just before Sunset Boulevard. Between Temescal and Sunset, that's when things slow down towards Topanga. That's down to one lane right at Topanga. And your eastbound lanes, leaving, I would say, well, Malibu Canyon, there's some slowing, but right around the traffic is slow in towards Big Rock, and then pockets is slowing towards Topanga. And again, they're just doing the regular work through there. Topanga Canyon is open. They are doing work in the village. I do see, it looks like they're doing some calcium work in Tarzana. I'm seeing some slowing westbound. There's pockets of slowing basically from about the 405 as you make your way to, I would say, Reseda Boulevard, that opens up in Woodland Hills. Concerned about retirement, Anthony Sakaro of Providence Financial wants to show you how to retire with ease with his bestseller, More Life Than Money. Buy it at BarnesandNoble.com or get a free copy now of the 5 class by going to morelifethanmoneybook.com and typing in KNX. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5 from the System New York GMC Select 24-hour traffic center.
83 degrees now, maybe 90 tomorrow. Update on Savannah Guthrie, Sydney Mustang.
Is it really more emotional than that that you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%. And there's nothing you can do about it. Last time, sure, you get them a jumping towel, Founders Western Financial Group. For 50 years, I've had 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all our options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-960-3377. That's 800-960-3377. 800-960-3377.
It's Chris Stevens, and I'm speaking with Lisa Press, a patient of the NeuroMD Dr. Julian, who we play water polo as a professional bodybuilder and a physical therapist. He suffers from neuropathy. Luis, what were your symptoms prior to seeing the NeuroMD?
Numbness, weakness, and lack of balance.
Had you seen other doctors prior to
I went to several doctors, and nobody could really give me an answer to what I had.
I understand you like to hike. How far would you hike prior to seeing the NeuroMD Dr. Julian?
I was barely doing like a 4-mile hike.
And after getting from the NeuroMD,
We did like 3 miles hike, cover about 10 miles, and I was great.
Dr. Julian, a board-certified urologist specializing in neuropathy.
これ今ここ89度だけど、この先坂を下ってサンタまで降りたら70度台です。この峠の向こうとこっちでね、海側と山側で全然気温がガラッと変わるんですよ。
Call Wedgwood Homes and talk over your options with them. Do you have a house that needs a lot of repairs, or do you want to downsize, relocate, sell an inherited property? Maybe you just need some cash quickly. Wedgwood Homes offers a fast, reliable, all-cash offer. They buy the homes as is, no repairs, no commissions, no hassle. You can close in as little as 3 days or on your timeline. So skip the stress of the traditional listing. Avoid competing with new inventory and picky buyers as you wait and wait and wait. Get a guaranteed cash offer that allows you to move now. The offers are firm, no strings attached, no last-minute price drops like some of the other all-cash buyers. Call Wedgwood Homes today and get a no-obligation all-cash offer. 800-781-9600, 800-781-9600, 800-781-9600, WedgwoodHomes.com, Southern California's trusted home buyer for 40 years.
Need an extra attorney by your side. All you got
一応降りてくるとガラッとまだ89度です。
1:30.
海が見えますよ。海かな？海じゃないの。
Alex Silverman, and he started the Tuesday afternoon with an update on Savannah Guthrie's mother, who's now been missing for 3 days. Cops still don't know who took her life. Got a briefing from Tucson area Sheriff Chris Nanos today. He said they're now a bit clearer about the timeline of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, which started on Saturday night.
9:45, 9:39:45, we were told she was left at her home by the family. At 11 o'clock in the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that she was not at church. They went to the home, found her to be missing. That's the time. From Saturday night, 9:45, we'll say, to Sunday morning, 11 o'clock.
They still don't know if one person, multiple people, don't know why Nancy Guthrie was abducted. They're following all leads, they said, getting a lot of tips. The fact is, she badly needs her meds, and this is now day 3. Savannah's been off the Today Show this week. She's there in Arizona with her family. The House has passed the $1.2 trillion spending bill to end the partial government shutdown. It has been sent to President Trump, who says he will sign it.
ガバメント
Bill
シャッ
funds
ター
most of the
終わったっ
government
て
through
言ってたんじゃなか
September
った
to
今日
the
から開けてる
short-term tax for Homeland Security, which will then become the latest debate. Lawmakers negotiating changes to ICE, other enforcement policies. GOP members were holding out that they want other priorities dealt with in this package, but it did end up passing today. The White House is trying to clarify comments from the president on a podcast where it urged nationalizing elections. CBS correspondent Natalie Grant is after the White House.
With 9 months until the midterm elections, President Trump suggested Republicans should over voting procedures in certain places, speaking on a podcast with former Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino. The White House says the president was calling for Congress to pass GOP election legislation, which would require citizenship documentation to register votes.
The bill is known as the SAVE Act. There were some Republicans trying to get it into funding, but that did not happen. Bill Gates' ex-wife, Melinda French Gates, is now talking about the latest Epstein file release involving her husband.
No girl, no should ever be put in the situation they were put in by Epstein.
Husband, I of course should say, as she was talking there on NPR's Wild Card podcast, reacting to allegations in a draft email written by Jeffrey claiming Bill Gates asked for antibiotics for sexually transmitted infection he allegedly was going to give her without her knowledge.
For me, it's hard whenever those details come up, right? Because it brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage. But I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away, and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there, what I can't even begin to know all of it. Those questions are for those people and even my ex-husband. They need to answer those things, not me.
Part of it leaked up to 3 million pages of documents the Department of Justice put out last week, including 2 2013 draft emails that Epstein wrote to himself. French Gates said her dominant emotion when she saw all this was that
I left my marriage. I had to. I was losing my marriage. I had to leave this guy. I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. That's just that. That's the truth. And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women.
The Gates got divorced in 2021 after 27 years of marriage. Bill Gates has denied there's any truth to any of this. Joe Biden's ex-husband is charged with murdering his current wife, now 77, was arrested this morning. Cops in Delaware haven't given more details about the killing of Elizabeth Stevenson, just that they responded to a with methods included their home in late December, and they've been investigating ever since. Stevenson was married to Jill Biden for 5 years in the early 1970s before she met Joe. The former president has not commented on this. Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn, she's been trying to compete for the Olympics despite a torn ACL in her knee that happened on Friday when she crashed the World Cup downhill in Switzerland. That's unknown, but it's going to be tough for her to compete. Training sessions for the Olympic women's downhill Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before Sunday's run for gold. Vonn says she'll do everything in her power to get to the starting gate despite the torn ACL, bone bruising, and meniscal damage. Dr. Clint Soapy is an orthopedic surgeon with Phoenix Science.
Most of the time when people sustain an ACL injury, they're just, even if they said they want to compete, they just physically can't. Just the swelling, the pain after, especially just days after an injury, they can, a lot of times they can hardly walk. And so I'm very surprised to hear this.
He says if Vonn goes ahead with competing, she'll have to wear a special type of ACL brace to stabilize the knee. Vonn has won 3 Olympic medals. She's 41, and the Milan Olympics this month would be her flag. 135. Sure understand her wanting to do everything she.
Oh, yeah.
It is Susie Jessup now in the Simpson Buick GMC Cadillac Traffic Center.
Hey there, Alex. On the eastbound side of the city of Grand, it's just a little bit past Grand in Diamond Bar. We just saw a big race blocked in the middle lane. That's adding a little bit of slow on the eastbound 60, but I am seeing slowing on the northbound 57 from Pathfinder. They're doing some pothole repair on the northbound side of the 101. This was right around Normandy. There were some potholes blocked in the middle lane, so it looks like they're almost finished repairing that, but I'm still seeing a little bit of slowing as you make your way northbound from downtown to Normandy, and then it opens up. We do have the Santa Monica Boulevard off-ramp blocked on the northbound side of the 101. They're doing some road work, so if that's your normal off-ramp, then jump off at Sunset, because just past that, right at Gower, they just closed the Gower off-ramp as well from the northbound side of the 101. Also, we have another snag, too. This is for the northbound side of the 710. This is right at Alondra. We have a collision here involving 2 cars. It looks like they're trying to clear this over to the road. A little bit of slowing, not so bad on that northbound 710.
Hundreds of alleged sex traffickers have been busted in a huge crackdown here in L.A. and across California.
A week-long statewide sex trafficking task force went down the end of last month, resulted in hundreds of arrests across California, and the rescue of more than 150 people who were being victimized by sex traffickers. L.A. County Sheriff Robert Luna says a significant number of victims and suspects were picked up right here in Los Angeles County.
Our collective week-long efforts statewide this year resulted in 156 adults rescued, 14 children rescued, 71 suspected traffickers arrested, 328 sex buyers arrested. Human trafficking and child exploitation are devastating crimes that target the most vulnerable amongst us.
The crackdown was called Operation Rescue and Rebuild. Statewide, there were 611 criminal arrests, numerous on LA's Figueroa corridor, and the youngest listed was 615. I'm Craig Figueroa, 97.1 FM.
The president has said the government shut down and funds the vast majority of it through the rest of the fiscal year.
I'm drawn to sign the consolidated
about ICE going forward, and that will probably consume the next couple of weeks. I'm happy to be veterans housing fairs today. Mayor Karen Gowdy.
Somebody told us for sure for some veterans, and they were told that they would get vouchers, housing vouchers, which are not always easy to get in Los Angeles.
はい、というところで恵方巻き屋さんに到着。恵方巻き屋さんじゃないけど、この中に止めたら後ろにはみ出しちゃう。狭っ。中に止めたいんだけどね、本当は壁に後ろにはみ出しちゃうから止められない。
Because of crazy bureaucracy is what I am so excited because that
a day. But will landlords accept them? I talked to one man who was there representing landlords, and he thinks they will.
And at the end of it, you've got a tenant at or over market value, and everybody wins.
On South Figueroa, I'm John KNX News 97.1 FM.
The owners of the LA home where Marilyn Monroe died are suing the city and Mayor Baggs. Husband and wife say the rent was designated a historic landmark after they bought it, which stops their plans to demolish the house. Lawsuit said the city designated the property in Brentwood historic without any public purpose or compensation. We've been following the saga over the mansion from the beginning. Talked with City Hall back in 2024 when they were trying to save it from being demolished. Some of the residents, some of them fans.
Why do you think the home should be preserved as a landmark that is of historic nature? In 1962, for a single woman that was 36 years old, who was an actress and a businesswoman, to make a purchase of her own house at that time when she was divorced was insignificant.
No comment yet from the city attorney or the mayor on that lawsuit. Cost of child care is so expensive it can sometimes rival a family rent or mortgage payment. Lending Tree found the average monthly cost of infant care in LA is now almost
はい、というところでございまして、マルカイっていうスーパーマーケットですけどね、到着しました。恵方巻き自体はね、毎年買ってるんですけど、同じったら同じなんでしょうけどね。はい。ちょっと中入って恵方巻き買ってきて食べます。後で恵方巻きの写真どっかにアップしましょうかね。はい。というところで今日の朝のご挨拶はこの辺でいきますね。毎日配信、多分朝のご挨拶ライフの命令ナンバー1526第1526回目。今日は2月の3日節分の日火曜日の朝のご挨拶でした。はい、どうもどうもご視聴ありがとうございます。それではまた明日もできます。ボブちゃんでした。
999-9989. The injured worker hotline.